My name is Clayton Earl Duncan, and I was born here in Lake County. I'm from the Robinson Rancheria Band of Pomo Indians, and it's on the northwest side of Lake County, Clear Lake. Um, I was born here, and then we went to Oakland in 1960 and stayed there like 17 years. Went to Sacramento, went to New Mexico, and came back when I was 28 years old. And I started getting involved with the politics on our new rancheria. We got a new rancheria over there where we bought some land, put up some housing, tribal center, and a casino. And I was involved with that. The Indian Health Program, I was involved with that. And just the politics of the Native people here in Lake County. I've been involved with it since 1978. Right in 1959, in the 50s, they started this thing called the Termination Act, and what they were going to do, the government, federal government, was going to uh, terminate all the rancherias and reservations in California, and so they wouldn't be have to pay for their services anymore. You can get BIA help or and anyway, so one of the things that the reasons why they were going to terminate is because they were going to give the uh, the Native people education, college education and training schools and all that. So my mom and dad went to Laney College in Oakland for body fender. He was a body fender man, and my mom was a beautician. And they got jobs. My mom managed a shop and all that. But when I really thought about it, it was like we all the native people, they were like barbers and auto mechanics and body and fender. I mean, none of them were like lawyers or, it's like we always had these kind of training for working for the master, kind of like a thing. And now you see native lawyers and all that, but before then it was like training schools for just working, working class people. The early 60s, I don't know the exact date, the exact dates on record and everything, but I know in the early 60s, when we were unterminated, everybody was waiting for this check. And we sold, I guess we all agreed to sell California for 47 cents an acre of land. And I remember getting that check and when I was like 15 years old in 1965. So that's when I remember termination, you know, from 1965 when we got that check. I'll say about half of our rancheria moved off the rancheria, and went to like Oakland, L.A., San Francisco, San Jose, and yeah, about half of them. During the termination, well, there was a lot of promises that the federal government, told the Indians that they were going to do before they did termination, and one of them was, good sewer and water, good housing, good education, and sanitation. And over here at my grandmother's house, she still had an outhouse, and they had this well, and the water in the well had a lot of iron in it, and this iron, would make you, the clothes, smell funny, make you smell funny, and that's the water she had to drink. And so, the kids, my cousins, got sick one day there, and I think it was in 76, 77, about 77, 78, and anyway, my her daughter, Dory Timmons, she took her to CILS, which is the California Indian Legal Service, and told them their problem. And then they got this suit on the way, suing the federal government for breaking, not doing what they said before termination, and they won, and my grandmother won. She won that suit, and we became unterminated, and we restarted our tribe again in 1978, 79. My mom and dad, were raised up by their grandmothers, and yet they never taught me anything to be native. Um, and so we went to Oakland, and so that was our life, keeping up with the Joneses. So I didn't really think about it, at that time about, Indian but then Alcatraz happened. Alcatraz, so I'm a veteran of Alcatraz. I went over there with the Indian people, and I got a understanding, I wanted to learn more about myself, who I was, being this Indian person or Native American, what they called us. And so that's when I guess my political career started. I guess Alcatraz time, and so then I started getting more interested. So at first, it didn't mean anything, and then I'm going, well, gosh, I mean, like Creator, he blessed us with this land here, and now we only got this little bitty piece of land that they gave us, 88 acres, and now that's gone. What are we going to do about this? And so I got involved with our board, our tribal board, and I ran for the board, and I was the vice chair, the first vice chair they elected, and Bernadine Tripp was our vice chair, and then we started our new rancheria.
Wow.
First it was like bylaws, uh, do our bylaws and our get our tribal members. Who were they? We had to put them on the register, and when we first started out, there were 79, I think it was, 79 members. Now we're close to 300, I think. Yes, at first it was only thing was out there was government money and grants, and then in order to get really the big grants, you had to be from a big reservation. They got all the big money, and so I, in a way, I guess we were trying to find tribal members out there so we can build our res, so we can get more money to make, get more housing and more whatever. And then this bingo started in the 80s. Bingo halls. It wasn't casino. It was bingo halls. And I think there were two up here in Northern California. It was Calusa and Cache Creek at the time in 1985 and 86. And then we start looking into it because we needed money. We need money for, well, at first we knew that Lake County wasn't going to hire us. Okay, they weren't going to hire us. They ain't going to put us in no good jobs over here and stuff. So we needed a place where our people were going to work. So we started researching the bingo halls and going to different bingo halls all over. And 1987, January, we opened one up. January 87. And Bernadine Tripp, myself, and a few other board members, we opened it up. And gosh, we've been there, what, 87? How many years now? And it just, in a way, it helped, and then in a way, it again separated the tribe because this assimilation, American assimilation, that BIA and everybody been trying so hard to do, well, it worked. Now I feel this is a personal opinion, but I feel like assimilation worked because now we lie to each other. We are mad at each other. We point fingers and jealous at each other, and we're stingy and greedy. So assimilation worked. We're not the people that we used to be. We're not the spirits that my great grandmother was. You know what I'm saying? I feel she was the ultimate human being. And she lived that long because she still respected the way Creator gave her. She still respected the songs, the language. She still talked her language. And the foods, that's what she ate. It's the food. She didn't go to the store. So that right there, that was us, is gone. And that's why I think a lot of this turmoil that we have in different reservations and stuff is because we're too assimilated.